Prince Harry has won his legal bid to challenge the Home Office's decision to cut his police protection. The Duke is suing his own grandmother's government after it refused to spend taxpayers' money on his bodyguards after he quit the royal family. A High Court judge will now look again at the decision to turn down his demands for police protection after Megxit, when he and Meghan stepped back from their roles as working royals. The Duke has offered to pay for police protection, but should he just pay for private security? Yes, obviously. Why, if we let Harry come back over here, demanding this and that and saying, I'm not a royal anymore and I don't want to be a royal, but I want to have police protection like a royal or a statesman of some kind.
No, but that's not what he's saying.
He wants to pay for police protection. Tom Cruise can't pay for police protection.
No.
The Rock can't pay. If he's a statesman...
The Rock doesn't need it.
The Rock will pay for private security, and Harry should pay for private security. That's fine, but paying with the police, absolutely not. He's not special anymore.
No. Harry isn't asking anybody to pay for protection. He wants to be able to pay for it himself. He feels that he needs the level of protection that the Metropolitan Police can offer. Now, of course, we don't want on-duty police officers to be taken away from their very important roles, or their WhatsApp groups, to be looking after Prince Harry. We don't want that. But if he wants to maybe pay off-duty police officers who can provide him that level of protection, and it doesn't cost the taxpayer anything, and it doesn't take them away from what they should be doing in their normal police hours. What is wrong with that? As long as the public don't have to pay...
They're off duty to have a break from police duty.
That's true.
And therefore,
No,
why can he not, now that he lives mostly in America, which he does, why would he not have his own team around him, bring his own team over, and then, I can't believe it's beyond the wit of anybody to actually sort of, you know, go, we need a bit of contact with Scotland Yard or whatever, and then just kind of almost plug it in and do it that way. Why should he have access?
I suppose, though, in fairness to Prince Harry, what is hanging over all of this is the spectre of what happened to his mother. And the fact that one of the issues that's always mentioned is that she no longer had the protection that she would have had she remained married to Prince Charles. And the protection that Dodi Al-Fayed had was obviously woefully inadequate. And that had she been looked after in the way that she'd been accustomed to being looked after, she might be alive today. And I suppose, as her son, how could you not think of that, and how could you not esteem much more highly, you know, British police protection than any other kind of protection, given what happened to his mother?
I think you're absolutely right, Vanessa.
Don't you think that's what's prompting this? Because it seems so unreasonable, but I suppose it's a deep kind of psychological and kind of a primal need to feel safe.
I think, yeah, he wants to feel safe, and it kind of feels very hypocritical of some people in our industry, to constantly inflame tensions and gin up all this hatred against Harry and Meghan, and then complain if they don't feel safe when they come back to their country. Well, Prince Harry may not be a working royal anymore, but he is, quote, of royal stock, of royal blood, and so he's also been in the army, so he is a prize target. Can you imagine if some kind of hardcore extremist managed to kidnap him? What a coup it would be for them. And then we'd be doing all this inquest, looking into it, say, well, something went wrong. Who made the big mistake?
Yeah, Prince Harry would have made the big mistake for not having a strong enough security team around him, because unfortunately...
But his security team will not be plugged into the kind of information that Scotland Yard and the Diplomatic and Royal Protection Service will be able to give.
And I think that's completely fine, because Prince Harry is not the most famous person in the world. He's not even the top 100.
He's one of them.
No, I wouldn't even say, in terms of Hollywood celebrity and sports stars, I would say that Brand Beckham is a bigger deal.
Bram Beckham's been... It's a bigger deal. I've been selling my shares in Bram Beckham.
I think it's a bigger deal than Harry. So Harry, he could easily afford to have the greatest SAS ex-serviceman of all time as his security detail. Princess Diana didn't have enough. Fine, that's down to Dodi Al-Fayed, perhaps. But Harry and Meghan can afford to have 20 of the strongest security teams around.
And to come back to that point, that it cannot be, you know, the point is, as you're saying, you know, here's a high-quality target, or however they describe it.
High-status target.
High-status target. So the point is, you then get on to Scotland Yard, and I cannot believe Scotland Yard to say, no, I'm not going to tell you about anything that we've heard about.
I think they might do, because they've probably been directed to by the Home Office, which is why Harry is taking the Home Office to court, and that's one of the reasons why he's got this appeal. And let's see if the Home Office will reveal in detail what their reasons are.
And this is the thing, is that there have been specific threats made against him and against Meghan, saying that he's treasonous, and it's terrible that he has a mixed-race family. You know, threats against him, Meghan, and the children. Threats have been made against their lives. And I think you could be right that perhaps if there's a situation where the Home Office, the Metropolitan Police, Scotland Yard are not willing to share the information. They're not going to know the specific threats that are being made against him that they need to counteract. So maybe that's why he feels he needs the Metropolitan Police on his side. And maybe if they can come to agreement, because you're right in saying that he can afford to pay for high-level security, but are they going to have the intelligence that they need to keep them safe? Maybe that's the issue rather than, you know, I want the Metropolitan Police. It's about the intelligence that they're plugged into.
I think we've pacified JJ. He's just looking at you. Pacification has worked. He agrees with us, don't you? You agree?
No, I completely and truly disagree with you both.
Okay.
I like Harry, I like Meghan, I think they're good people, but if you're not part of the royal family and you're not a president or prime minister, you do not get that state
But there are
protection.
people who are part of the royal family who are dragging it down into the mud, who are disgracing it, and they're still getting all the protection.
That's
you know what I'm talking about?
That's very
Right,
true.
there you go.
Yeah,
So,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Compared to that particular guy, I mean, Prince Harry hasn't done anything wrong compared to him.
Exactly.
You know? And in fact, I think, you know, when he appeared at the UN the other day, some people go, oh, you know, there he is, you know, trading off his royal status. I think he's actually helping to enhance brand Britain.
Oh, there's a lot of people. I mean,
UN.
do you know what I just thought was, you know, I looked at that and I thought it must be awful to feel like you've almost got nothing that you can contribute as Harry, you know, like he's a bit like Princess Margaret, you know.
Oh, wow, no.